The 2025 season of the Dallas Cowboys has been defined by contradiction, and no player embodies that reality more than Dak Prescott. Individually brilliant, collectively frustrated, Prescott has delivered one of the most complete statistical seasons of his career while watching the team fall short of expectations. Early in the year, Prescott's name circulated legitimately in conversations for both NFL MVP and Comeback Player of the Year. His command of the offense, leadership under pressure, and consistency from week to week placed him among the league's most productive quarterbacks. Those discussions were not driven by narrative alone. They were backed by numbers, situational performance, and an unmistakable sense that Prescott was carrying a team often undermined by issues beyond the offensive huddle. Despite that level of play, Dallas finds itself eliminated from playoff contention, holding a 6-8-1 record and enduring a late-season slump that has overshadowed much of what Prescott accomplished. The Cowboys' inability to align elite quarterback play with team success has reopened familiar debates across the fanbase and league observers alike. Yet, beneath the disappointment lies a critical distinction. The quarterback position is not the problem Dallas needs to solve heading into 2026. A historic individual campaign. Prescott's 2025 season stands as one of the most productive in franchise history. Through 15 games, he surpassed Tony Romo to become the Cowboys' all-time leader in passing yards, a milestone that cements his place in organizational history. Statistically, Prescott has thrown for 4,175 yards with 28 touchdowns against just 10 interceptions, while also contributing 2 rushing scores. Those numbers reflect efficiency, decision-making, and adaptability in an evolving offense. Beyond raw production, Prescott repeatedly delivered in high-leverage moments. He engineered fourth-quarter comebacks and 3 game-winning drives, often compensating for deficits created elsewhere on the roster. The consistency of his performance stood out even more given the instability around him. Injuries along the offensive line, shifting game scripts, and frequent defensive breakdowns forced Prescott into less-than-ideal situations. Rather than regress, he adjusted. He protected the football, extended plays when necessary, and showed patience when explosive opportunities were limited. In a vacuum, Prescott's season would typically belong to a playoff quarterback. In Dallas, however, context proved unforgiving. The team game reality. Following the Cowboys' 34-17 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers, Prescott addressed the media with a message rooted in accountability rather than deflection. He emphasized that football remains the ultimate team sport, one where success or failure cannot be isolated to a single unit or individual, regardless of position. Prescott pointed out that offensive success depends on complementary football, defense, special teams, situational execution, and capitalizing on matchups each week. His comments resonated as sincere rather than scripted, reflecting a quarterback aware of his own performance but unwilling to detach himself from team outcomes. While the defense has drawn much of the criticism throughout the season, Prescott acknowledged that the offense also experienced stretches of inconsistency. Those moments, combined with playing from behind too often, created a narrow margin for error that Dallas failed to manage. Offensive challenges beneath the surface. Although Prescott's numbers tell a strong story, the offensive unit around him faced persistent obstacles that complicated execution. Injuries along the offensive line disrupted continuity, timing, and protection schemes, forcing adjustments both in play calling and Prescott's pocket management. At times, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer acknowledged situations where play selection could have been sharper, especially in critical downs. Consistently falling behind early altered game scripts, reducing balance, and increasing defensive predictability for opponents. Prescott often operated in catch-up mode, a scenario that magnifies pressure and compresses decision-making windows. Despite those challenges, he maintained efficiency and avoided the turnover spikes that often accompany high-volume passing seasons. Block 5. Organizational confidence at quarterback. Amid speculation about changes across the roster and coaching staff, Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones left little ambiguity regarding Prescott's standing. Jones publicly stated his optimism and satisfaction with Prescott as the franchise quarterback moving forward, reinforcing organizational stability at the league's most important position. Such affirmation carries weight, particularly as Dallas approaches an offseason filled with uncertainty elsewhere on the roster. The quarterback position, often the most volatile in underperforming franchises, remains a pillar rather than a question mark. Jones' remarks suggest that any offseason restructuring will be built around Prescott, not in spite of him. For a team seeking alignment, that clarity provides a foundation few organizations possess. One of the most encouraging developments of Prescott's season has been his availability. After battling injuries in recent years, he remained healthy throughout the campaign. Prescott appeared on the injury report only once, and even then due to short-week scheduling rather than a significant physical issue. That durability represents a critical shift, restoring trust in his ability to sustain elite performance over a full season. Health has allowed Prescott to refine mechanics, timing, and preparation routines without interruption. For Dallas, that reliability transforms off-season planning, enabling continuity rather than contingency. In many ways, Prescott's availability may be the season's most valuable takeaway. Growth in year 10. Prescott himself views the 2025 season not as a ceiling, but as a platform for further growth entering year 10 of his NFL career. He expressed confidence that his approach to preparation, leadership, and mental discipline continues to evolve. Rather than relying solely on physical tools, Prescott emphasized work ethic, mindset, and intentional improvement. His belief that he is playing his best football now reflects both maturity and self-awareness. Frustration with team results exists, but it has not diminished his internal motivation. For a quarterback entering double-digit seasons, that hunger matters. Leadership without playoffs. With playoff hopes extinguished, Prescott shifted focus toward professionalism and pride in the final games of the season. He spoke candidly about playing for personal accountability, effort, and respect for the league, regardless of standings. Prescott stressed that leadership is demonstrated through actions, not speeches, particularly when external motivation fades. His message to teammates centered on preparation, discipline, and maintaining standards. Such moments often define locker room culture more than postseason runs. In that sense, Prescott's leadership extends beyond wins and losses. Faith, control, and perspective. Prescott repeatedly referenced controlling what can be controlled, anchoring his mindset in preparation, attitude, and faith. He highlighted the importance of putting God first, maintaining perspective, and trusting the process even amid disappointment. That framework has allowed him to avoid internal doubt, despite external criticism. Rather than questioning his ability, Prescott doubled down on work and accountability. He framed the season as part of a longer journey, not a final judgment. Such perspective often separates enduring leaders from reactive ones. Looking ahead to 2026. As the Cowboys enter the offseason, questions loom regarding free agency, contracts, coaching decisions, including the future of defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, and draft strategy. What stands out, however, is what does not require debate: the quarterback position. Prescott's performance, health, leadership, and organizational backing provide rare stability. Dallas may face difficult choices elsewhere, but its most important position is secure. For Prescott, the message is clear: keep working, keep leading, and keep building. For the Cowboys, 2026 represents an opportunity to finally align elite quarterback play with team success.